Hello and welcome back to One Last Turn. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2 and the EPEC Challenge. Last time we got our goods train set up and it's currently on its way to our cargo hub, which we spent most of the last episode sort of thinking about and building. And today we are going to expand the use of said cargo hub. We are going to sort of revamp the way that food gets delivered so that we can also get some food up to Corby without it having to go through Wendover. Before we get into any of that, please hit the before we get into any of that, it would be greatly appreciated if you would consider subscribing to the channel so you can follow along with the series, and of course leaving a like and a comment about this series, this episode, anything along those lines would be greatly appreciated. It helps me out a ton. Not many of you are subscribed compared to how many are watching, so help me get those numbers up. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Anywho, let's get our food line sort of changed up a bit. Quick side note: Wendover is now back to being a 4 cargo city, which means that it should get some goods as well on that next delivery, which is very nice indeed. Just want to take a look. We did upgrade this production here last time, and it does seem that the sawmill has leveled up. We have quite a few cars sitting here. That are just sort of doing nothing, so I think we'll sell just a couple of these, because it does seem like we currently have it slightly over geared. Cool. Now what we want to get into is we want to change the way that this works. Food, I'm gonna pause the game here real quick. Currently food is going via this food machines delivery from Ashton-under-Lyne all the way up here past the machines factory and then back around into Wendover. Now we're getting paid from the distance from here to here as the crow flies. So we're basically, we're doing a lot more than we need to in terms of distance traveled. That's not necessarily an issue, and we are sort of alleviating that loss in efficiency by picking up machines on our way back. And that machines delivery is being paid from this factory here and to Ashton-under-Lyne here, which is pretty good. Currently though, even though we did do some upgrades last time, and speaking of, we should throw in an extra platform there and maybe even a little building, and probably upgrade the steel supply. I think another 8 vehicles would probably suffice, but that was besides the point. The amount of machines we're making just doesn't cover both Northern Underworld and the rate with which our food trains are currently running. Additionally, it seems like that change that we did to the line where we don't fully stock is becoming a bit of an issue. So we'll have to turn that on. I mean, we're going to change the line right now, so it's really not going to matter. But my point was going to be that there's some inefficiencies with these two routes. And if we instead move both of them to our cargo hub, then we can actually, when we move the machines factory, the machines to the cargo hub, what we can do is take machines back to Ashton-under-Lyne. It's better, it's slightly further away, so it's gonna make more money, and hopefully it's gonna be more sustainable. Obviously the rate is gonna be the same, so we'll have to figure that part out, but it should be more sustainable. There shouldn't be this sort of distance here where the train is running empty. That will only be the machines that are running empty a little bit, so we'll have to see about that. Maybe we can bring some stuff back to Northern-under-Lyne eventually or something like that. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna change it up so we can go sort of directly up here. Now, how are we gonna do that? Well, if we take a look at our contours, if we could sort of stay down in this elevation here, we would cut a little bit into Wendover, which is not ideal. So we probably want to go onto this contour line here, and then we can sort of wrap around here, scale to the next contour line, and then the question becomes, what do we do about all of this? There's, I mean, a lot of elevation difference between this contour line and this contour line. It's about 60 meters, and it's quite a short distance. So we could, of course, make a tunnel come out somewhere around here. It's not impossible. Let's say we get a tunnel that starts, let's see, we go out here. So instead of climbing, we'd probably want our tunnel to go somewhere around here, and then we would tunnel our way into here, but that's too much slope, so not really a possibility. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. So what do we do instead? Stop that. Probably have to follow this contour line around. God damn it. Around the bend, or could we go through? If we sort of stick to the contour line, it's going here, and then that would mean we would have to get out somewhere around here. We could do that, and then slowly make our descent from here. Sort of cut. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad at all. Probably like it to connect here somewhere. And let's get this contour line back just so I can remember where we want it to go. We break off here, and then this it is a little bit annoying that we go up. We go down just to go up. So could we come along here maybe? If we break off here. Let's get rid of this temporarily, these roads here. We have to make this connection back eventually because it's a connection between two cities. Let's see. I would like for the train to break off here. And then we come up here. This is 95 up to 98, so we don't really want, this is 94, so that's pretty flat. But cutting the terrain a little bit. So doing this is going to create an embankment here. I think that's just unavoidable. What I really want to avoid is going back down right here though. Let's just see what happens if we try and connect these two lines that we have right now. What is that gonna look like? That is gonna give us a tunnel through the mountain. It does create a bit of an embankment here, or continues it a little bit. Then it cuts a little bit through here. Then it makes us a tunnel, which is a pretty good tunnel, I would say. And then we are at 40 meters, so it's quite a bit of a slope going down this way. We are going from 90 to 45. So that's gonna have to be a beefy train. Alternatively, we can curve it a bit more so it's not such a fast slope. If we try go like here, this is from 74 to 50. Big gorge there in the mountain. That's a bit better. It looks a little bit more like a hill. But getting to here is going to be very tricky. It's much better to get up here. Could go here, but that gives us a tunnel. And then we pretty much might as well do the other thing. if we go here, then curve around, I think that's what I want. Question is just how is it gonna look? It's gonna give us a nasty curve here, but it does give us a better slope down. How about we change this up a little bit so we better follow this contour line a bit. How's that gonna serve us? Still pretty nasty. What if we take it here? Get rid of this road. So if we can get somewhere along here, that's gonna be the same. And then if we take this back a bit, maybe that gives us a better... It is better. It's better. Maybe take it back a bit more. No, that was worse. So we would have to come down more and then go back up again, unfortunately. Right. In order to get 120, we would have to go here. I don't mind that all too much, to be honest. It looks pretty flat. Let's try that and then just this approach. We can do that a bit differently. Probably all the way from the split here, to be honest. Maybe we do the split as well. Just to see. So, well, sort of what we can get. This is 120 up there. This is 120 on all places. We are cutting a bit of the landscape. That's gonna have to be okay. I think we are good there. It is a bit sort of wobbly. It's a bit curvy, back and forth here. I mean, ideally, we'd split off here. Go with a tunnel. I mean, maybe this tunnel here is better from 90 to 50 to about 60. That is actually a bit better in my opinion. Just this is very weird. There we go, just one tunnel. It's a bit more expensive, but I do like it a lot more. Do like it a lot more. So we are losing a bit of money on just sort of trying out a few different things here with the rails. And I mean, I like doing that better than just doing it all willy-nilly. Let's just re-establish this road here. Through the landscape. We don't want any... This looks absolutely terrible, but that's gonna have to do, and we can connect this up here as well, just so it's connected. It's not that bad. It's a little bad, but let's just give this a better curve. There we go. Okay, yeah, so that is part of the way. We are not there yet. Let's take a look at our contour lines. We want a gradual decline, preferably a long one. Just sort of skirting along this mountain. This shouldn't have happened. Want to make sure we can do 20. 120, sorry. This is gonna give us a bridge. Bridges are kind of annoying because at this point in time we don't have a bridge that allows 120. That comes later. We could definitely create this route, and I'm not saying that I'm completely opposed to it, because I actually think it's gonna look quite nice, like us traveling along the mountains, and then there's this sort of semi-valley, and we have to sort of have a bridge in order to make that work for our train. It looks kind of neat. I will say that. If this had been a more direct, that would have been nice too, but I think we need this straight piece a little bit. Then we go here and we travel along the mountain. We have this bridge here, so we don't have to climb too much too fast. This leaves us at 30 and we start at 50, so we probably want, if we could get up here, that would probably be slightly better. Also a hell of a lot more expensive because we make a much higher bridge. But I don't think, I think that's okay. Question is though, when we continue from here, it's gonna look very weird because this is kind of steep. So I kind of want to continue it a little bit, and that leaves us with a tunnel. If we keep it at 50, it leaves us with 2 tunnels, which I don't love either. And we do have to sort of start the descent at some point. Now we do want to go on the eastern side of this. Do want to do that. This is a long stretch. We have a single tunnel just cutting through this mountain. I don't mind the look of this, to be honest. It's gonna be a pretty cool train ride. And then you go up here, and then we're gonna go around here. It's gonna be quite steep. But I don't mind this too much. Let's attack it from the other side. Let's attack from the other side here. We're probably gonna wanna get another platform in here, so another set of tracks, and probably at some point we're gonna sort of redistribute which tracks go where and stuff, but for now we'll just expand it like so. We'll have this guy go here. Think somewhere along here is gonna be good, and then let's see if we can connect here. We have 120, we have 90 on the bridge. Bridge is slightly smaller now, but we are doing a longer tunnel, and then we get a bridge on the other side. Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that. That looks dumb. So what if we take this back a few? Are we gonna be able to make that connection? We can get a connection still with the bridge. Is it possible to get over here with that 120? It does seem like it. Somewhere along here is probably where I wanna be. So let's try that out for size. No longer a bridge here because we are keeping with the contours a little bit better, but we are in a pretty steep decline, and then we sort of mellow out inside the tunnel here. Go back up a little bit. We aren't, but I just can't measure inside of it. It's a pretty big tunnel. We could try for a little more here, a little less tunnel. Now this gives us our bridge, which is pretty cool. It's still 120, and then the bridge is 90. And we create sort of this sheer cliff face almost, which is pretty cool too. I think maybe if we continue this a little bit here, that's gonna give us more of what we want. We get a little bit of a tunnel here instead. We get a little bit of a smaller bridge and some more embankment. I think this is good. I think this is what we want. It looks pretty neat. It's gonna be a pretty cool train ride. For sure. Cool. Well, before we set the trains up to run there, we gotta configure this here. We need another set of platforms. And at some point we probably want to make it so that one side of platforms are going to Wendover and the other is going to, what's that called, Halstead or something like that? Yeah, Halstead. But for now this is gonna do, hopefully. We are gonna want to make this line doubled up, or at least we need some passage zones. Now this looks pretty ridiculous, so let's see if we can't do a little bit of a straighter cut here. Looks a lot better. We do want to double this up. Question is, how expensive is that gonna be? It shouldn't be completely worrisome. Because we are just most of the construction work has already been done, like with the tunnel and the bridges. They aren't as expensive to expand with an extra set of tracks as just building them in the first place. Oh no! Just too close there, huh? Okay, let's see if we can't do something about that. No, really. Oof. Okay, that works. Got a little afraid there for a second that would have to redo a lot. That works out just fine, and we will just have a entry point here. Don't want to have two tracks inside the station for now, at least. And we gotta throw in some signals. They'll be going in here, and then we just gotta throw down some sort of in the middle-ish signals. That would be somewhere along here. We're going out and back, and then about halfway would be just before the tunnel here, out and back, and the same it would be just before the tunnel here, which is to be out and back. I think maybe it should have been in the tunnel, but that's fine. I think that's enough signals for now. Just gotta get some signals on here. We'll have a signal going there, and we'll have a signal going there, and a signal going there, I think. I think that's how you do it. Okay. That was a lot of money on tracks and everything. Let's manage the line here. Gonna completely revamp it. Ashton under Lynn, and then to here. Not all stations are connected. Okay. Interesting. Why is that? Okay, so let's not do that then. Let's just undo that. Wendover, and there we go. This was machines, unload none. And this is unload food. Okay, let's make a new line then. We'll go from Ashton under Lynn, and we'll go up here. And it won't allow that. Now, why is that? We should be able to go here, and then we'll break off. Well, there's a problem. But that wasn't all of it. So we'll go here. Forward, forward, forward. We'll go through the tunnel. Come out here. Going forward still. Over the bridge here. Going forward still into the tunnel. Going forward still. Going forward still into the station here, and then we go back. We switch to this side of the track. That should work. Well, color me surprised. Into here, and we have another, and it goes into this track here. And it can go into either platform. Now, why does that not work? Could not connect all stations. Okay, now that that did it. Not sure why it couldn't do it before, but that did it. And this is gonna be CH1 food, or is it delivery? Supply. CH1 food supply. Cool. That is half of the story, but we can start. I mean, this one is... That's just crazy. Let's set that for CH1 food supply instead. There's no path. You can't get to Ashnordelin. Okay, let's put you back then, and we will swap you around. Alright, because you're on that sword, so we have to get you away. That's annoying, but okay. And how about you? Can we switch you to CH1 food supply? We can. Can also, you know, with the other one, if we just temporarily connect to this line here. Well, I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't gonna cost me an arm and a leg. Can we do like something like this? Maybe that was too much of a curve. There we go. That way we should be able to take this one as well and put it onto CH1 food supply. And then this line should no longer have any vehicles, so we can get rid of it. And we can go back to regular speed, pause the game just really quickly, because we want to get the food delivery people. They're still delivering food out here, but we want a line from Wendover there and into the food here. Actually, the food is there. Okay, and this will be Wend food delivery. We have one of those already, but we will... This one is gonna be deprecated. We just want, for now, we just want a single truck for that yellow food delivery one, just so it's there and can create some demand. Now terminals, what do we have? Wendover Good Supply is on let's throw Wendover Good Supply onto number 2 and Conmats onto number 1. Just so the goods are all together there. And then we have the food on that last one. Okay. That should create the demand. And just for... because we can, the city has expanded quite a bit. since we made this station feeder, we probably want to expand this a little bit. Get some more bus stops. Where could we want to go? Probably want to go down here somewhere. So let's just delete this and see if that becomes North Street. Good. I'm gonna make it both ways. I think a stop somewhere along here is gonna make sense as well. Go both ways here too. And probably a stop somewhere along here wouldn't be too bad either. Let's take a look. Manage the line here. You want to go from St. John's Roads down to North Street and then to Alexander Road, to School Lane, and to Windsor Road, and that gives us this neat little map. There is gonna be some overlap on this road here, and we might have to sort of get the entry for the cargo delivery up here instead and move some things around so they stay sort of within, and we can within the industry area. So that is I'm gonna rename this to Wend B1, which is gonna be bus 1. And then I actually want to make another line that goes in the opposite direction. And I want this to be called Wend B2. And we do need a bus stop in the other direction for that to work really well. So let's just manage that line. Yeah, so that looks good. And then we just need a little bit of capacity. We're currently running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On B1. Let's try for, actually let's, what's the line? We are making slight profit. Okay, let's give it a try. I think I want to try 4 Wend B2. Okay. Let's unpause the game. What's going on here? Now this is unfortunate. Our trucks are faster than the private transportation going on here, so they will be caravanning behind it. Not that much we can do about that this second, except for creating another entry point. Which one is the traffic? That's this one. There is a little bit of traffic between Halstead and Wendover that is creating this, and if that gets too much, we'll have to expand a bit and go with passengers to Halstead as well. Our food supply is getting its way onto the right track now. And where is the other train? That is here, just slowly making its way back to Ashton-under-Lyne It's gonna take a little while until that sort of all comes together. I want to take a look at our balance. We did have a bit of a break here because we are sort of switching things up, but it seems to be working itself out nice and slowly. Luckily, we aren't completely dependent on one singular route. So, for example, our plastics and wherever he is, an oil train here is making a lot of money. It's interesting that it sort of bunches it together, but I guess the the frequency was also diminished when we upgraded. So two of these got sort of squished together into one because it's slightly faster as well. And that leaves us with a quarter where we don't have any profits, which is unfortunate, but it should be fine. Over time, it should be better anyways. Goods delivery is looking fine. It seems like as long as we actually deliver goods, then or produce the goods, then we're pretty golden. Okay. And how about down here? We have a lot of goods that are just sort of sitting here. Halstead is getting 22. It's the raise 26. We can definitely do better than that. Let's get at least 2 more. Hopefully that helps out a little bit. Now, Wendover food delivery is not set up properly. We only wanted to grab food. But he's gonna grab some con mats to begin with, it seems. This sort of temporary train is doing fine. This guy is on his way to pick up food, and hopefully once we get that food delivery, those will be very, very nice as well. We are no longer, there's no longer any food left here, so let's take our vehicles and throw them to the other food delivery and get rid of this line here. And then we can also get rid... I'll just leave this. We can get rid of this truck stop. I'll just leave it for now in case we... I doubt we want to use it, but there is a possibility, I guess. So we'll just leave that for now and see how that turns out. Okay. And with this delivery, I don't know if we can see it on the train here. I don't think so, but we should be getting some good supply as well. Now you only wanna get food, of course. Right now we have some con mats. They're just gonna have to stay there, maybe. God, let's just manage the line and say you can grab some con mats as well. You'll have them, but you won't go anywhere until you get food. You can just turn it back immediately, actually. It's not like you're gonna unload it once you have already loaded it. Okay, so that should get food to our station. And this guy should soon be on his way. We are producing about 80 food, which isn't a lot, to be honest. We have four trains running. How does our farm look? We can do 200, and we're currently doing 164 from 4. So that is about 40 per train, so we could get a 5th train on here. To sort of get the last sort of supply that we have. And that could make sense for sure. Let's do that. Just manage this vehicle and we'll get another one. And I'll just wait for this one to pass. How's the steel looking? Producing about 104. Delivering all of it. We're producing about 100, which obviously matches. There's no longer any demand for what's it called? Sorry about that. There's no longer any demand for machines here on the station, so they're all just getting fed into this truck stop. Currently, we're not really delivering that much because it's not really that profitable. But what we do want to do is get those machines to go to the hub as well. Now, I intended for this to be temporary. What is the best way to get the machines over there? We have the infrastructure for this to just go this route and then use this sort of temporary connection that could become permanent. That is one way. We could go and branch off somewhere. Go north. But the approach to the the cargo hub is going to be terrible. We could go the other way, sort of go back a little bit and then curve around. That is going to be worse, I think, than just using the existing setup here. Question is, well, there's not much of a question. I think we'll just use this. Let this be a double slip. Use the connection here. We will just throw in a signal here and here. We'll run with one train. Eventually we're gonna redo this passenger terminal, change its location amongst other things. That way this can look a little bit better. And we can use it to connect to other cities a bit better as well. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that. Don't hate that. Let's just use this depot here to get a new train. The G3 should be fine. This is a relatively flat route. We wanna do boxcars for machines. If we stay good, then that's 28 capacity. That's just not gonna cut it. But going from the G3 to the PLM is 150k more. In maintenance, plus 20k per car. How about we just go down to... I mean, this lets us stay at 50 kilometers on medium. How about we go down to 45? Or maybe just get to 60 capacity. That leaves us at 42. I think that's gonna be good enough. PLM is also almost $1 million more expensive, so I think we're gonna go with this. Get it, and we will send it on a new line that goes from the machine stop there and up to the cargo hub. It's gonna land on that same landing as our food. We'll have to take care of that if that becomes a problem, which it probably will be, but we'll have to see. And this will be no CH1 machines supply. Let's just speed game up a bit here, and once this guy is on the track completely, we can reverse him and let him go instead of having to go all the way to that station here. We have our first delivery of food, which isn't full, so that is a mistake on my part. Ashna and Lynn, full load, only pick up food. Hopefully that other train is not full either. God damn it. That's a bummer. Hopefully next time around we won't have that issue. We should get some food delivered, and now we have a bit of a issue here. All of this goods is for Halstead, and nobody can get in or out because Wendover is trying to load till any. So I think Wendover's, because the supply there is just not as much, I think Wendover's just gonna have to do on its own. And then the rest here should sort of catch up. Let's throw in another set of platforms, that way they have a little bit longer to queue. I don't think we need to do individual ins and out entrances and exits yet. We have some money here. This guy can't carry both, so we'll just send him on his way with those con mats that he has. But food should be delivered from now on. The rates are dipping just a bit. Hopefully Wendover doesn't end up shrinking while this chaos here is being handled. It is quite unfortunate that we have so many rail crossings. But again, I don't think that is too... I mean, there's much we can do about that. They are just gonna have to wait occasionally to these trucks, but at least the queue is going out and not going in now. Wonderful. We're delivering con mats from Corby to Wendover, and let's see here. That is this one. That's a flat car, so we can't really supply anything back. We would need a box car for food. So we would either need double lanes to get food back, or we would need a multi-purpose train. Like with Wendover, let's also redo the bus route here in Corby. Currently, let's just take a look at it. It goes this way around School Lane to the Green to Park Road. To have this, which Conmat uses. Okay. I'm just thinking, is there any places? There's some residential here. We could throw in another stop here, but I think actually what we really want is just an additional route going the other way around. So let me rename this one to Corby B1, and we'll throw in another line going Park Road, Green, and then School Lane. And that looks absolutely terrible. What do we start? School Lane, and then Park Road, and then Green. Terrible, because we haven't added the bus stops going the other way, of course. Line 1. That does look slightly better. You can name that Corby B2. And Corby should have a depot somewhere. Might be this one. Let's get 4 stagecoaches onto Corby B2. And that should hopefully help with that traffic, passenger transportation a little bit. Are we getting a food train here? Yeah, we are. can't you just deliver? We can deliver whatever we want, so not quite sure why this guy didn't do that. This I also want to take a look at. Not the best. Lot of congestion along the main road. Maybe if we build a road coming in at another point. Let's just pause this, get rid of these. Connected road. Oh, what is that? There we go. What does that do to the lines? And we move the truck stop here to the other side of the road. That looks a lot better. This way the traffic won't interfere with the bus going that way. It will interfere with the bus going the other way, but that's going out of the city, so there shouldn't be any issues there. How about the ones using this one here? We'd also want to flip that to the other side of the road. That way, that should be better, and also we'll avoid this public road where we risk being in the way. Interesting to see what this ends up doing. They need to, yeah, so they do sort of a loop around, decongesting, and then they'll be waiting here, but that's fine. Where is our, it's there. Oh, and I didn't do that. I did it again. God dang it. Managed line. I really gotta remember. I was really good at it, I feel like. Remembering. But now that's gotten a little bit downhill, unfortunately. I mean, we're only just over halfway, so let's just send it back for more. We also want to have another set here. And a new line from Wendover and to this stop here. It's gonna be Wendover machine delivery. And we will throw just a singular guy on that. That's part one. Part two is we want to update our food supply line such that it can pick up food at Wendover North and unload the, sorry, it's unloading food and picking up machines and it will just load if available, and it can unload at Ashton-on-the-Lynn. It can unload those machines. That should create the supply because we have these machine deliveries running here. So that should be all good. If we take a look here, that should create some supply for Ashton-on-the-Lynn. It does slightly, and it's increasing a little bit. And there should also come some supply for, I was gonna say some supply for Wendover, but Wendover did shrink again because of missing food delivery. Bit of a congestion here. Don't think we can do much about that. We got food sitting and waiting. The rate is 43. How is the rate on our trains? 78. So we should be able to increase that once they actually start running a little bit fuller. Okay. How is this looking? Not so much congestion, and we're transporting 100% of the planks, and we're doing 90% of the wood or logs. Lots of planks in stock over here. Steel is still the bottleneck, and it will probably continue to be that for a long time. We could upgrade all of these to DMGs. That should help the rate a bit. Not sure why we're using horses, to be honest, but I guess that was just an oversight on my part. This does do 123. We're doing 118. Oh well. How about the farm here that is being transported to 100%? We're a little bit over. Doing really good money-wise though. And we could just take off a singular car. Manage vehicles, we'll take them all, we'll edit them. If we take off a singular car, on all of the trains, I think we should. Yep, that's a little bit better. No reason to pay that maintenance fee for overdoing it, but 205 is completely fine. Now we could start utilizing the quarry and the construction materials a little bit better, just sending them to this hub in preparation for sending them on to maybe Boroughbridge at a further date. I think that makes sense. Our train is usually making a slight profit. Not sure why it seems to be a bit congested right now. 87, so it should, and this one runs like 88, so it should be pretty much full. But we can get some more shipped with yeah, so currently what we're doing is we're doing round trip, so that might be why it is slightly confused. If we take a look at the Conmat's feeder here, we actually have one vehicle that's one of the old ones. We'll just upgrade that with the DMG, and then we will double the amount of vehicles. And see what that does to our transport on the quarry. And obviously we're gonna need a bigger train to handle that, but that shouldn't be an issue. It can be twice as long without much problem, I think. Full food train. And where's the other one? It is waiting here to get into the station. I was just thinking that the signal could be a lot closer. They're both gonna go in this way and out onto the other track, so it could be here. The signal going into the station. Instead of having to wait all the way back here. It seems like I haven't made these one way, and they should have been. So I will just remedy that. This one is one way, yes. That one is not one way. And this one is one way as well. Might be quite a stretch here. We could throw in some signals here as well if we ever need to. There we go. If we ever need to have more capacity on that line. Wendover's back to being 4, and that should start the wanting capacity. Very, very nice indeed. And hopefully that turns into a consumer over here. Why are you waiting? You're waiting for this train, which is... Okay, yeah. This is probably not the ideal solution. But what we can do is we can make a crossover here on both sides of this station. Just for when this train is waiting. Of course, we're gonna need some signals that are one way. Have to wait here, and you have to wait here. Why does that matter? Machine supply. Right, because you're on the inside here and you need to be able to cross, and you're currently doing that by going there. So this actually needs to be a diamond crossing. That's fine. There we go. That's fine. Now these can pass this parked train, just as long as they don't have anybody coming in the opposite direction. That is good. Now we're nearing the end of this episode, and what we did was we set up well, we didn't really set up anything new, right? But we redirected our food and our machines to go to this cargo hub, and we redid a bit of the way that goods and passengers are distributed between Wendover and Corby. Hopefully that will allow us to expand in a better, more sustainable and easier way in the future. That is at least why I did what I did. We should be able to just throw down a train here, extra set of tracks maybe, but at least get food into Corby relatively easily with this setup. Obviously, Corby and Wendover together need much more food than we can currently produce, so we're gonna need to grab the farm over here on the other side of the river and bring that grain to the food processing plant in order to truly get that amount that we want. Alternatively, we're gonna have to get some grain up to the cargo hub and then transporting it down. But grain can only be transported together with, well, not everything at least, so we would want to take something back because this is quite the route. We can't take anything back with us. Machine supply is... oh, that's not the one I wanted to see. The food supply... we haven't received any machines yet. That's probably why it didn't bring any machines back. But yeah, we're probably gonna have to get the grain from over here. Maybe we can take some coal back to the steel mill while we're at it. Sort of utilize our train a little bit more. And then we can finally truly get Corby up and running. Hopefully with the movement of the food and machines onto this line instead of this line over here, with the way that the new machine delivery is gonna work, we can more easily dimension the machine delivery or the machine supply here separately from the food, so that the food doesn't end up waiting, because that is usually what happened. Okay, that is it for this time. Let's just take a ride here along with our food train. Should probably take a look and see. I mean, I know that there isn't any cargo in this guy, but we should probably make sure that he can actually do the trip at a decent speed. So yeah, let's take let's take a train ride here, ending out the episode. And I would just like to say thank you so much for watching along, maybe playing along with me. I'm not sure. Anyways, I hope you had a good time. I know for sure that I did. And if you liked this video, please leave a like and some kind of comment below. It's really going to help me out. Of course, please subscribe to the channel. As I said in the beginning, not a lot of you are subscribed. It would really give me a better understanding about the appreciation of you guys if you were subscribed. Additionally, if you are subscribed, you can hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new episode of this series hits, but also all the other series that I am running now and in the future. I guess that's everything, and all that is left to say is just I wish we could have just one last turn. But for now, let's enjoy this little train ride, and I'll see you guys in the next one.